Hi, everyone. I thought I'd share with you a revelation about photography when it comes for websites. And sorry I haven't been posting a whole lot. I got to get back on track with that. Been working kind of on my other channel for moving companies. But in this case, I kind of want to share with you what we've been working on and the troubles we've had and how we're finding that solution. So basically the first thing is usually we get a cache of photos and 100, 200, 1,000 photos, sometimes even more than that. And we're told to pick the best ones. Now, we prefer if the client gives us the photos that they like, because we can have a different opinion of what to us is a good photo and to them is maybe a great construction or great remodel, and they want to show that. Now, what often happens is that we tend to get photos that don't look too great. And there's not a whole lot we can do in the past. We could do in the past. And typical things are the photos are too small. That's usually the case. Less than 1,000 pixels, which is fine when we're looking at like inside the content. But when we're looking at imagery on the very top, those need to be over 2,000, 2,500 pixel width. And if they're not, they look compressed, because what the code does is it makes it fit that space, and now we get this compressed imagery. The other issue is we get elements in the photo that might be holiday, like we've got some fall holiday here. We've got some pumpkins in here. We've had instances where there might be a porta potty on the side of the building because it's during remodel, or just finished construction. Or it is finished construction and we might have an issue with the landscaping isn't quite done yet. It's still muddy and dirt and all that, but the house looks beautiful. Now, we've come up with a couple solutions thanks to AI, and one of them, and this is going to be amazing for us because it's always the problem. They're always too small. It's rare that we get large enough photos. And I've always said in the past, I can make things smaller. I can't make things bigger. Well, that's really not the case anymore. So there's a tool called pixelcut.ai, and you can get the free version. I think you get 3 per day. If you're like us, we'll probably buy that and we'll upload 500 of them. But the cool thing is I can choose to either 2x or 4x. Most often we might use the 4x and then we might reshape it down to 2,500 pixel width. But what's cool is that it is automatically increasing the size for us without losing the imagery itself. So that's the first thing. This is going to be very helpful when we replace these types of images on the very top, these big hero images. And the next is when we come up with issues that like I mentioned, the holiday, the porta potty, somebody's left their lunch on the counter. We just did one for an office space that was just super cluttered, and because they came back afterward and they took a picture and it's just stuff everywhere. So what can we do about that? Well, this is Midjourney. This is an AI imaging tool. Now, I don't really use this a whole lot to create new images. I really like it to edit. We have Photoshop, I have Figma, I have all these tools, but I'm telling you, it is really time consuming. And I'm sure there are people out there that've got Photoshop and they can whip these things up really fast. I'm just not one of them. I like to just say, get rid of this and replace it with that. I just want to tell it to do that. So here's an example. This was one that, see how it's really cropped. That's another problem. We get photos that they're too close to the subject. I need people to step back so I have some space around it to either crop it, put some imagery at the top, some text somewhere, and just give me some room to play with it. And this was a perfect example. This one had, now what I can do is I can put this back. You can see here, it had the Halloween imagery. I don't want this for spring and summer. I'm going to get rid of that. In addition, I wanted to make it more of a 16 by 9. And so what you do is you erase the areas here and you give it a particular prompt. I don't really spend a lot of time here. I don't come up with the perfect prompt. I'm just trying to give it parameters. For example, beautiful new home, blue skies, professional landscape, tiered roof, because I know it's going to start building out the roofing at the top. And one thing I did is I actually uploaded it, the the picture where it was a really far distance, you can see the roof. So I wanted to make sure I understood how to do that. So you can see the first time around it gave me this, and it's okay, but I didn't like how this section here looked messy. So I had a few variations until I finally got to this point here where I have some flowers, I've got some river rock here, I've got kind of this innocuous building. And just for a side note, making sure that when someone's looking at this photo, they might find some kind of wonky images in the background. For example, you can see this truck here. It's not perfect. It looks a little weird. There's this sign. I don't want it to imagine extra things on the photo. So I always try and get rid of that. I just wanted it to improve the front and make the landscaping a little bit better. You can see here there's another issue right here. So we finally got to this point. It's a little cleaner. It's not making things up. You can see the roof now is set up properly, and this is what we'll use. Another example, I'm trying to see here, we had a photo here. The original looked like this, and I'll restore it. So you can see it's a kind of construction. It's not quite finished, the landscaping, and on its own it's okay. It's not terrible. I like the lighting is really nice. You got that really nice sunset that's coming on, lit up parts of it. But I didn't want the boat. I didn't want these green tanks in the background, and I wanted to have some level of landscaping here. So a couple of prompts later, you can see it did this. This looks a little, it's okay, but not quite. I don't know where there's a little features in there. Another prompt came back. Let's see. And this is the one that we ended up with. I'm not sure there's really even it looks like it's a beach, but, oh, here we go. So because I said it's a sloping backyard, it kind of gave me these rocks in the backyard and a neat little path. And is that the way it looks now? Probably not, but at least it's a little bit more presentable and finished. The other thing you'll notice is that the sky is a little darker, there's a little more drama involved in it, but in addition to the fact that it's now 16 by 9 and it's a larger image, so we can use this. And I just wanted to share with you that we're just no longer limited to using Photoshop. Here's another example. Here's the original. Again, it had holiday gear and it had weird little things. So it's distracting. I want people to see the home itself and not the holiday. So again, a few prompts, we got to this. I don't recall which one, but whichever one looked more natural, that's the one I typically use. But they all look pretty decent. Again, it's all about giving it that finished look and clean. So I thought I'd share that with everybody. Again, this is Midjourney, and the other tool is Pixelcut. I hope that's been helpful for you guys if you're ever using this for your own blogs or your own website. Let me know in the comments what you're using. I'd love to know what kind of tools you found have been really helpful to perfect your photos for your own marketing. All right, thanks. See you next time.